Yes, sir. Now, today, we're going to be talking about Yo Gotti. Now, it has come out on January 13th, 113, that Yo Gotti's brother, Big Juke, has been killed outside of a Memphis restaurant. So, without further ado, man, let's dive into this situation and let's see what's going on, man. So first and foremost, let me explain a little bit about Anthony Big Juke Mills' background and the role that he played in Yo Gotti's career. Now, Yo Gotti's brother, Anthony Mills, made a notable mark in the music industry through his association with Yo Gotti's label, CMG. Born Anthony Mills, Big Juke contributed significantly to the label's success, played a pivotal role on the business side of the music industry. Yo Gotti's brother Big Juke's influence extended beyond family ties as he actively promoted artists under the CMG imprint. His involvement went beyond the traditional manager role, and he often appeared in music videos for the artists he supported. Big Juke's multifaceted contributions showcase his dedication to the success of the label and the artists within his fold. Now, he also took to the forefront as this is Yo Gotti, right? He took the forefront as a prominent rapper in the face of CMG. Big Juke, who was Big Bro, he was the one behind the scenes making sure all the business ends was tied up. Basically, that was Big Juke's role, right? In Yo Gotti's career. So very interesting, man, that this person that played such a pivotal role has now been killed. As we all know, in the music industry, in the Hollywood business, it's always a sacrifice that has to be made. Now, a perfect example of this type of situation is the movie Blood Sacrifice, right? Where it was their uncle who was their business manager, and he was doing the same thing that Big Juke was doing. His name was Red. Y'all need to watch that movie, and it's gonna show y'all not exactly, but around that same thing of what happened and what goes on in this music industry when it's time for a blood sacrifice, man. But come on, let's dive into the numerology behind the situation, right? Murder by numbers. Now, if you pay attention to the cover, right, we can clearly see the number 3 and the number 8 in the cover, right? Even the word murder equals 38 in gematria, which is simply turning letters into their numerical value. So we have the number 38. So it's very interesting that the day that Yo Gotti's brother was killed was on 38 date numerology, January 13th in the year 24, right? Just like killing. And they said it was outside of a Memphis restaurant. When Memphis restaurant, both equal 38 in the same reduction cipher. Now, y'all, this not the only time that Yo Gotti in a shooting in a Memphis restaurant have occurred, man. Because y'all remember we talked about last year when a shooting at Yo Gotti's restaurant left 2 dead and 5 injured. So there was a mass shooting at Yo Gotti's restaurant last year. And look at the day that TMZ posts about it. March 30th, 3/30. Now we're going to dive in on that number in a second, man. But it's always dealing with a restaurant, right? That these killings is taking place that are associated with Yo Gotti. It's always at a restaurant, right? But come on. Right, because Yo Gotti happens to be 42 years old at the time that this has occurred to him. Right now, we know that the N word equals 42, racial slur in the month of February, which is Black History Month, equals 42 in the same reduction cipher. I want y'all to pay attention to how the same ciphers is being utilized, right? We not using too many ciphers this video. It's not needed for real. Right? So we have the number 42 with the N-word, racial slur, in February. So we can see that this number 42 is linked with Black people, right? Hanging also equals 42 in the purest cipher. Juice World equals 42. So a lot of celebrities also share this numerology. Dwayne Wade equals 42 in this pure cipher. And now we see why the things that's transpiring in his family is why it's going that way, right? These are the people that they want you to look up to. But come on. LeBron James equals 42 as well in this pure cipher. Notice how ESPN wants to mention to you that he scored 42 points in the Drew League. But come on. Bill Russell, right? The NBA player with the most championships. Bill Russell equals 42 as well. So that might make sense as to why Bill Russell and LeBron James both wore the number 6. 42, 4 plus 2 equals 6. Right? Bill Russell is second. He is second on the list for the most minutes played in a game in his whole career. Bill Russell has averaged 42 minutes a game, right? When Bill Russell equals 42. But come on, man. Because we always talk about Jackie, right? But if we actually look at who was credited with being the first Black man to play in Major League Baseball, it's 42 anyway, right? Moses Walker also equals 42. You got Muhammad Ali equal at 42, and he was even born in the year 1942. That made me think about that drink, man. Ain't it 1942? Ain't that what that drink is? But come on. Shanae from the Martin Show. Shanae, who was Martin's loudmouth neighbor, right? Shanae equals 42. And we know that Martin lived in apartment 42. Right? Pay attention to how the Martin Show setting took place in Detroit, which is located on the 42nd parallel. He's been in the news a lot. He's in the talks a lot. Cat Williams also equals 42 in this pure cipher, man. Pay attention to how this same cipher is being used, man. We haven't even stepped outside of that reduction cipher, man. All in the same cipher, man. But come on. Right? So back to the Yo Gotti situation, right? Because it's his brother that has passed away. When even if we take the phrase brothers, you know how this, those brothers over there, those brothers, a group of Black people, they say brothers. They call them brothers, right? So it's very interesting that these two brothers, right? These two biological brothers, Yo Gotti loses his biological brother at the age of 42, just like the word brothers equals 42. Man, even the movie The Brothers is an hour and 42 minutes. Starring Morris Chestnut, Shamar Moore, Bill Bellamy, D.L. Hughley, Tatiana Ali, and Gary Hardwick. Now, what's very interesting, once again, is even breaking down the span of this movie, right? This movie is an hour and 42 minutes. So that's 60 minutes and 42. So we have 60 plus 42 makes 102. So this film is 102 minutes, which perfectly aligns with the numerology of the N-word, man. Come on, man. Come on. This was really going on, man. Mockery. But let's continue, man. right? Let's continue with this 42, right? Because Big Jook, who is Yo Gotti's brother, passed away 18 weeks and 1 day before Yo Gotti's next birthday. 18 weeks and 1 day. When we take that as a whole number, 181, that's the 42nd prime number. Even taking the phrase black person in black history, right, in the English language backwards, it happens to equal 181, which is the 42nd prime number. So these words and these phrases that happen to deal with black people happen to have this consistent numerology, right? Very consistent numerology that's going on, man. But come on. Because Yo Gotti even came out with his most recent album, which was CM10 Free Game. Now, this even came out on the 4th of February. Another 42, right? So these people know exactly what they're doing, right? It even features 42 Dugg on the album. Now, 42 Dugg is another rapper from Detroit, the 42nd parallel, and even his first name, Dion, equals 42 in the simplest cipher. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3. So this number 42, man, is very consistent, man. But come on. Because Jalen Rose, a basketball player from Detroit. Now, he went to Southwest High School. Now, his number that he wore at Southwest was 42, when his first name, Jalen, equals 42 in the simplest cipher. Now, let's take the reflection of 42, 24, as we are currently in the year 24, the year of Kobe. So just know that you're going to also see a lot of Kobe rituals going on, especially in sports. You're going to see a lot of 8s, 24s, 81s. You see what I'm saying? But come on. Right? Because even taking the title of this album, CM10 Free Game, taking that whole thing, it equals 204 in the English language backwards. That's the same day that the album was released, on 2/4. But come on. Right? Because this album was even released with 330 days left. Just like the stage name, Yo Gotti, equals 33. Now, Yo Gotti has some strong synchronicities from the release of this album to the day of his brother's death. Now, Big Jook died 101 weeks and 1 day after the release of Yo Gotti's most recent album. He also died exactly 708 days later. When, if we take Yo Gotti's stage name, Yo Gotti has a perfect synchronicity with Yo Gotti equaling 111 forwards and Yo Gotti equaling 78 backwards, man. So we have a perfect synchronicity, man. So that is showing us that Yo Gotti is behind the death of his brother Big Juke, right? But come on, man, let's even go deeper, man, with this album right here. With him even showing the dualistic concept, right, on his album cover. Right? Because even if we take the year and the months, Big Jook died 1 year and 11 months after Yo Gotti's most recent album, when Yo Gotti equals 111. Now, even if we take Yo Gotti's real name and we just take the span of weeks from his most recent album to his brother's death, we get a span of 101 weeks, just like his full birth name, Mario Centel Jiden Mills. equals 101 in the purest cipher. So with that being said, man, I can conclude, in my opinion, that Yo Gotti sacrificed his brother to continue going up in the music industry. Blood has to be shed. Those random strangers evidently wasn't good enough. That also happened at Yo Gotti's restaurant. That wasn't good enough. Those people were strangers. They want blood. Blood, figuratively and literally, right? They want your blood, not some random blood. They want your blood. So yeah, Yo Gotti's brother was sacrificed. Now, like I said, watch that movie Blood Sacrifice, and it's gonna show you exactly what goes on in the music industry. Now, with that being said, that's all we have for this video today. Appreciate y'all for all the love. Appreciate y'all for all the support. And I'm out.